small and mid-sized enterprise, digital reinvent and rescale. Well, post the pandemic, the processes and practices must evolve from small and mid-sized organizations to streamline digital growth. And we are joined by Bidan Roy, Managing Director, Head of Commercial and Small Business Asia Pacific, Japan, and Greater China, Cisco, joining us. Thank you so much, Mr. Roy, for giving us your valuable time. I'd now like to pass the stage and screen over to you.
Hey, thanks, Bhavna. Thank you for inviting me. Just wanted to check, can you view my slides? Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
You are? Okay.
No. We're not yet able to view your slides, Mr. Roy. If you can just, if you'd like to do the screen share once, I'll just confirm.
I am sharing the screen. So do let me know because I can see mine for sure.
Sure, Mr. Roy. Just allow me a moment. I'll just confirm the same with my team at Entrepreneur. Just a moment. Yes, now we're able to. Mr. Roy, over to you.
Okay, awesome. So thanks to Entrepreneur Media for inviting me, for providing me this opportunity to talk to all of you. It's really a privilege to be here. And what I would really like to get started by thanking even the other esteemed speakers who came in and speak before me, or the members that would speak after me. A quick introduction about myself. So I work very extensively with small and medium businesses in Asia Pacific, Japan and China regions since quite a few years. And of course, that includes India as well. And as you would imagine, there's a huge amount of variety of small, medium businesses we have in this particular region, which kind of is a microcosm of what we see across the world. And truly speaking, in many cases, this particular region leads in those parts, and especially startups and small, medium enterprises in India, that leads really the path for the rest of the world. Outside of Cisco, I'm also actively engaged with two small, medium-sized companies, one of them as a board member, advisory board member, and the second one as an investor. So I hope as we move along, I'll be able to share some hands-on experiences and insights through my presentation and through the Q&A. So as we move into this particular topic, it always reminds me of some of these marketunist.com cartoons, and I'm sure you would have probably seen one of them, which is showing that how there's a huge hammer that's disrupting a customer set, who says that, okay, I don't need to transform now, and how COVID-19 is really transforming. But other than that, this really shows the kind of impact that we have been seeing, not just small, medium businesses, but even large organizations. And to me, really, I think this pandemic, if it has done many things, it has done definitely one thing, and I would probably take it across in a very positive way, is that it has become a big leveler for all. It has impacted everyone once and all in a pretty significant magnitude. So with that, I just wanted to share across that what's my view of new normal. Because as you probably know, the era of BC, if I call it, it's called before COVID, and versus AC or DC, which is, we can't say it's after COVID, so it's during COVID, so that's AC/DC. But if you actually take a look at it, it has in fact changed the way we work, live, play, and learn. I'm not sure how many of you probably would remember this particular thing. This thing used to be our tagline at some point of time in our company. It's not that we anticipated it those days. It was completely from a different perspective why we had left it there. But come to think of it, look back, if I just connect, it seriously has done this particular thing. It changed how we work, the whole workforce. It changed in our business strategies in terms of how we go out to market, what customer needs are. It has changed how we learn. It has changed how we interact with our customers, be it digital transformation or employee transformation or customer transformation. But what I'm not going to spend today is all the negative impacts that it has done. I would really like to pivot to some of the significant advantages or opportunities, I would probably call it, brings over to us. To me, if you'd actually see some of these things, which used to take close to 8 decades or probably a decade, has been really been happening across in 8 weeks. So just take a look at what the kind of e-commerce demand that has grown in just in 3 months time. So if you just annualize it across, it's like 64%. And I'm talking about, this is a time when the whole world was in a lockdown. The second one is that just see the number of companies that's migrating to cloud. And it's a very, very well-known fact, because I'm sure all of you who are today listening to this are in the cutting edge of it. But other than that, it has also changed the way our customers are buying from us. It has also changed the way we are selling into our customers. And hence the social media commerce tools has seen a significant rise. And the last but not the least, what really, really amazes me and makes me feel very happy is that India is absolutely at the forefront of not just adoption of AI and ML, but also started putting across. When I was last week, I was talking to a few of our partners in India and realized that many of these partners have already gone ahead and put across robotic process automation in their companies in some form or shape, which was very pleasing to know. So with all these things happening, really, I think there's a huge amount of opportunity that is ahead of us. And we definitely need to embrace that particular opportunity and think about what are the specific actions that we can really go ahead and take and probably adopt it. So just give me a moment. So this is where it is. Now, having known what are the macro trends, I would like to introduce to you some voices of the field, or the voices of the customers, or the voices of the consumers, because this is a specific targeted study that we did along with Analysis Mason in India, and this is what we found it out. And if you would actually see that these are results coming out of post-COVID, and these are how things have changed in terms of how the challenges are completely pivoted, keeping in mind COVID. Today, top of the mind for any customer, and this is in the small and the medium size, is how do I really find alternatives to sell products? I don't think so. Slower client payments is something that we ever thought was top of the mind as number two 10 months back. It was definitely something else. How do I ensure that PCs and devices for work from home employees? Probably definitely not there 12 months back. And that has also pivoted in terms of what impact it is really making in terms of the business goals in the next 12 months. I don't think so anyone of in this particular virtual room got to justify to one another that what role technology really plays today. And earlier on, where it was playing a significant role in accelerating revenues, I think today it is also playing a significant role in reducing costs and hence improving productivity. Needless to say, there are a few other points which are very, very key and coming out into the forefront as we move along. Now, I would also like to take a moment to share with you another voice from the field. And this is yet another study that we did along with the IDC. What's really very pleasing to know that small, medium businesses in Asia Pacific, 94% of them have become more reliant. What effectively it means is that they are really leading technology as at the core of their business. I don't think so it's about just enabling piece of it. It is not just about a feel good factor. But the second data point also has come out to the forefront is that 86% of these companies believe that it is digitization that will really help them fight against this pandemic. It is digitization that is going to help them develop resilience within their industry, within their customer segments. And last one, which you would actually see is that, and this is a very fulfilling factor because it really just reinforces all that we have been talking about, is that the companies who are really digitally mature are 2 times more in terms of revenue and productivity growth. So this shows that why we got to keep certain things in the front and center. As a continuation of that particular study, we also found research that what is the impact of this kind of things on the economic growth of the country. Now, just look at the left-hand side of this particular chart, which says that close to 158 to 216 billion dollars would get added to India's GDP by 2024 because of the digitization. I don't think so that's a number to be debatable, because we know SMBs, not just in India, but any other emerging or mature markets, contributes to close to 60% of the GDP. It contributes to 95% of employee base. So that's the kind of an impact it has. The last thing that I would like to call out in this particular slide is to just take a look at the digitization priorities, take a look at what are some of the technology investments. I don't think so there is a shocker in that particular thing, because we do know that cloud and security is front and center of everyone, definitely the startups, the small and medium businesses. But what has pivoted a little bit is in terms of that, how do our customers perceive, or how do you as a customer perceive, excuse me for that, how do you as a customer perceive the digitization priority, that you are looking at using technology to improve your customer experience, or using technology to improve your operations or service delivery. And these are certain things that have changed over the last 8-9 months. Having spoken about all these things, I think what's really front and center of my mind is that what actions do we need to expedite the path of recovery? And I'm very careful in calling that out expediting, because I do know that all of you are already putting things in place to get into that path of recovery. What you see on the left hand side is something that I really wanted to talk, because what I have seen, and this is my personal experience of being close to small and medium businesses, is that we generally bucket it, saying that okay, everything is a small and medium businesses. And my request to you is that you probably need to peel the layers of the onion a little deeper to find it out as to what are the unique characteristics of this particular small medium businesses. Like each one of you, you would know where you fall in, how you play. You could be a really a early stage startup. You could be a small medium business but pretty consolidated. You could be a disruptor or a challenger. Those kind of categories are there, because once you get to know, once you get to identify and sub-segment, be it yourself when you are looking out for resources or technology partners, or for your customers when you are selling into them, and I would strongly believe that most of you would be selling into this particular segment, you got to find that out. Once you figure that out, then a lot of things come out very clearly. And that's where then you need to really go out and deploy these 4 things. The number one thing that's top of my mind, I think is, and the reason why I call it number one, because I think there's a lot of things that could be done. See, SME as an industry, as a community, we need to really absorb this particular fact that we need to support and we need to build, create, and support the ecosystem. We don't need to go back and reinvent what has already been invented by someone. So catering to this particular ecosystem is very critical. The second thing that I would like to call out is that as we move on, we need to really very clearly sharpen our focus in terms of building that resilience. You can't be getting really pivoted out of it. The third thing that I would call about is that right resources. And when I talk about right resources, we do know that cloud and technology, but it is not just about, cloud and security, but it is not just about technology. You need to ensure that you have the right people, the right talent strategy, and I'm going to talk a little more about it. The fourth one is we got to continue that process of acceleration of transformation or disruption, as you call it. I don't think so we can have a near-term view of, okay, we just got disrupted and now we got to probably ensure that there will be stability for times to come. I don't think so that's going to be there for some time. So we need to continue to disrupt ourselves as we move along. But as you do this, there are a few questions that you probably like to ask yourself. Do you think you need to leverage technology in all parts of your business? And I know that I'm saying this particular thing having come from a technology background, working for a technology company, but this is something which we really go out and probably clutter our minds. Do we really need everything for everyone? Or can we get targeted in terms of that, what technologies would I need to address what problems? Keep the problems at the front and center of yourself. The second thing that I would like to call out is that the adoption piece of any technology, any digital transformation is the critical success factor of the whole process. So investing in the right talent and skills is much more important than investing just in the right tools. So I would urge that create that culture of innovation, create that culture of transformation. And the right hand side, the number 3 is that do you have the right technology partner? And I just like to take across probably 30 to 60 seconds to talk a little bit about here is that when I talk about right technology partner, I'm not just talking about someone who can sell all kinds of technologies under one roof, which we can do. And it's not a pitch for that. But what I would really like to urge and ask you to take a step back and think about it. Do you have the right technology partner who can probably help you with your scale up programs, who can help you with some startup programs? And this is something which Cisco is absolutely in the front and center of it, because our core strategy is not just to build products, but build, invest, co-develop, co-create. So we do a lot of scale up programs, startup programs that you can partner with us. And of course, the technology bits of it are completely intact. You call it, you name it, you have it types. With that, I'm going to really wrap it up with three things, because I think just addressing the technology piece is not going to help us succeed in reinvent and rescale. I think what's really got to be at the front and center of us is that how do we upskill ourselves and reskill ourselves, as well as our employees, our partners, and everyone. The second thing that's also very, very critical is that as we are going through this pandemic, I think what the biggest thing, the top most important thing that we need to be cognizant about is about people. So how do we go out and really be closer to our employees? It's not just about digital transformation or customer transformation. I think it's many ways it's employee transformation, and hence we need to, as leaders, you need to keep an eye on cultivating that service leadership approach. The right hand side, I think if we do not have a full spectrum diversity, it's where the success may come in, but it will be very, very short lived. And what I mean by full spectrum diversity is diversity which is across gender, class, race, culture, and everything, because that's where the best of the brains come in. And I'm a firm believer of the fact that two half brains is much, much more powerful than one single brain. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up with something. Say, I don't know who quoted it, but I think it was very, very apt for a small business. And I myself personally have gone through this particular experiences quite a few times. So I thought I will just wrap it up with this one and hand it back to you, Bhavna, if there are any questions.
Sure. Mr. Roy, I just request our Chief Correspondent, Entrepreneur India, Shipra, to come on the stage and screen. Hello, Shipra. Shipra, we'd love you to direct the questions now to Mr. Roy.
Yes.
Over to you.
Thank you, Bhavna, and thank you, Bidan, for sharing your thoughts on this topic that is on top of mind of most MSMEs right now, and not just in India but around the world. So let me quickly take some questions from our attendees. So Zishan is asking, does putting all aspects of business on internet and cloud is all it takes to be digitally transformed, or is there more to it?
Well, that's a very good question, Dishan. I would suggest, I would say absolutely not. It's not just about, as I was telling you, it's not just about saying that, okay, making everything online. And I think that's the point that I wanted to touch upon. And it's good that you asked. It gives me an opportunity to elaborate a little bit about it. We just need to be very, very careful as to what are the technologies that we are really putting it across in place, as to what purpose it is going to solve, what problem it is going to solve. That's number one. Number two, I don't think so just by putting across things online is a definition of digitization. Digitization is a suitcase word. It means different things to different people. But the way I would define it across is that it's the whole process of the journey wherein you need to not just take care of the technology part of it, but you need to ensure that you create an environment, a culture, a leadership that has been able to take it across all through the process. And in the front and center, it has to be the business objectives. There's no point of driving a digital transformation without really anchoring it to the business objective that you have in mind.
Yes, completely agree with you, Bidan. So I'll take up next question. So Anupama is asking, how can SMEs store, manage, analyze, and transform data into insights for business decision making?
So Anuradha, I must admit that I do not know all the softwares that are available, but what I can probably advise you is that there are some of them which would do phenomenally some individual pieces. Like there would be a company who would be probably very good at storage, so there will be certain companies who would be doing. But if you're looking across a full scale organization, you can definitely talk to one of the Cisco partners actually, who is a system integrator who can really help you with it. And there are similar companies that's available who would give you across a very, very turnkey solution. So that should answer. But other than that, I think some of the off-the-shelf solutions, you can probably find it across from one of the principals, like Cisco.
All right, great. I would have liked to take more questions, but we're short of time, and I need to hand over the mic to Bhavna so that she can start with the awards. So over to you, Bhavna.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shipra and Bidan. We just request you to stay back for the awards. These are final set of awards, and I'd love your words of encouragement towards the end for our winners. So, ladies and gentlemen, with this, let's start with the final set of awards. It is now time to encourage all the ones who won today. And right now, we're just requesting our team to share the winners on the stage and screen. And as you can see right now on the stage and screen, the first category, ladies and gentlemen, is the best use of social media. And that goes to, ladies and gentlemen, best use of social media, and it goes to UZ World Digital. Let's give a huge, huge round of applause. Our virtual applause is coming right there. Join us in applauding, ladies and gentlemen. Well, UZ World Digital, we build unique digital marketing strategies to help companies engage with their customers. Ladies and gentlemen, now moving on to our next category, which is the best use of real-time streaming. The best use of real-time streaming, and that goes to Sony Live. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge congratulations to Sony Live. Feel the advantage. Ladies and gentlemen, now moving on to the next category, which is Best Innovative Mobile App. And let's see, Best Innovative Mobile App. Yes, it is on your screen, and it goes to Public App. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Public App. Ladies and gentlemen, Public is on a journey to provide the simplest way to keep anyone and everyone informed and connected with their community. And now moving on to our next category, which is the best use of mobile for social and economic development. So let's see for the best use of mobile for social and economic development, and that goes to Cred. Congratulations to Cred for being the best use of mobile. Cred is all about wherein we take your money matters seriously so that you don't have to. So Cred, congratulations on the best use of mobile for social and economic development. And ladies and gentlemen, for the final category, which is the best agency / a client collaboration. And that, let's see who that goes to. It goes to Web Chutney. Congratulations to Web Chutney, best agency and client collaboration. Web Chutney, it's all about making advertising work better for people. So ladies and gentlemen, with this, we now conclude with the final set of awards. And we'd really like, Bidan, for your words of encouragement to all the winners towards the end. Over to you.
Hey, thanks, Bhavna. First of all, congratulations, all of you. I think it's amazing to know. What I really liked about is the unique categories in which that you have won these awards. So I'm sure this is going to be a huge amount of motivation for you to pursue in your journey as you move along. So congratulations again and all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bidan. And thank you so much, Shipra, for giving us your valuable time as well and giving in the question towards the end. We're just on time while we start with the final panel discussion. So thank you for that. Thank you once again for joining.
Thanks, Bidan. Have a good day.
Thanks, bye-bye.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, join us for the next session, which is the final panel discussion.